Monday Health Minutes, sponsored by Valley Health.
Hi, I'm Melanie Schaefer. This is Valley Health Minutes. Today we're talking about video games and maybe even what video game addiction looks like. For a lot of parents out there, it can be a concern. And Dr. David Wolf, a clinical psychologist, is talking with us today about that. Let's talk about gaming and then the difference between just having fun and addiction. What are we looking for?
Yeah, so I mean, video games aren't inherently bad. A lot of people play video games and they're so ubiquitous. If you get on your smartphone, there's tons of games on there that people play. We're talking about computer games, console games. I mean, there's all kinds of different forms of them. Really, the problem becomes when they you get into things that we call clinically significant impairment, or it's interfering with your daily life, or it's causing you a lot of distress. So that's when it's really the problem.
So what exactly does that look like? Are we talking about a drop in grades, or you're always in trouble with your mom and dad?
Yeah, it can be those things. The main things we look at are those things that are causing like clinically significant impairment. So that would be you're preoccupied with gaming, it's all you can think about. Maybe if you're watching YouTube, all you're watching is like videos about gaming, which happens quite a bit. A lot of kids do that. They're watching Minecraft videos all the time, and it's like all they want to watch.
Trying to get better at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's what they're doing, but you're so obsessed with it, sort of. It's just all you're preoccupied with. So you can't think of anything else. You lose all interest in other activities or like hobbies that you used to enjoy. We have sort of like withdrawal symptoms, not in the classic sense of like you're withdrawing from alcohol, but more like you become irritable, anxious, unhappy, you just feel overwhelmed if you don't get a play. You think of tolerance too with substance use, so you use more of the same substance to get the same effect. With video games, it can be the same thing. You got to play more and more to get the same level of happiness that you used to get with it. So those are some big things. And then of course, like neglecting responsibilities, like you mentioned, grades. Your grades start to drop, or you're not doing the things that you should be doing, like homework or chores or things like that. Or for adults, it interferes with your job. So you're losing out on job opportunities, educational opportunities, things like that, or it's jeopardizing relationships even with other people. So,
all things to watch for. Yeah. Is there a type of game that is more addictive than others? I mean, they have all kinds of war type ops
sure.
and Mario Kart. I mean, what are we talking here?
No, it doesn't really matter the type of game. There are some things with different games that can be more concerning. So there, of course, is like video game gambling, which is that's everywhere around here. You see a lot of those gaming parlors. So that's a different type of problem. That's more of a gambling disorder, right? But other video games can cause different problems, like these multiplayer games you're talking about, like Call of Duty or Fortnite, things like that. A lot of times you have to end up paying money to win or get the best weapons or whatever it is. So that's a different kind of issue too, and that can cause problems if kids are getting a hold of credit cards and spending money they shouldn't be spending and things like that. So those types of games are a little bit different, but really it doesn't matter what it is, what kind of game.
Yeah, any game can lead you down a bad road if it's too much.
Sure.
So if you're a parent, if you're even the child and you feel like I might have a problem here, what kind of interventions can you try at home?
As a parent, what you can do is, of course, limit screen time, which is something that, we talk about a lot, and it takes commitment because it can be hard,
Oh, it can be hard.
Yeah, a lot of parents go in a restaurant and they hand the kid the phone and, let that occupy your time and keep you busy while we're doing this. So that's not a great thing to do, because it's just kind of keeping the addiction or the problem going. But you can use other interventions too, like if they're playing online and like it's a internet-based game, you can turn off the Wi-Fi, things like that. Just remember that you're in control. You're the one kind of making the decisions about how much screen time is allowed. Another unpopular opinion is don't put a TV in a kid's room. Don't put a gaming console
make it in that public space so you know what they're doing.
And even making a video game like a family activity, with like the Wii or things like that. There's there's an active component and you can get exercise through that, and that's not bad, but just make it like a family activity instead of something that a child or adolescent is doing, in their room by themselves.
Before we let you go, when those interventions don't work, what are the clues that you need a professional to come in and help?
Yeah, I think if it's giving you that clinically significant impairment or causing you distress, those are, big signs that something, might need to be done. And if it's just interfering with daily life, really.
How would you make an appointment? Who do you speak with first? A pediatrician?
You can start with a pediatrician at Valley Health. We have a lot of behavioral health services at most of our offices. A lot of our addiction services are the Highline office, so you could call there. You can get on valleyhealth.org, look at different providers and kind of what their specialties are. Yeah, so just call any of the offices. We can get you set up with some individual therapy is usually what we would do. Or parenting too, for if it's a child or adolescent, we can get some parenting services going too.
And sometimes it's the adults that are gaming too much too.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not just kids.
Right.
All right, thank you so much for being here and giving us some information on how we can deal with video game addiction. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here for Valley Health Minutes. We'll see you next week.